Hey everyone, it's Ryan the War Boss here coming at you with another vlog. And today's vlog is another collab that we have going on with all these people right here. There's quite a few this time. The group is growing at a rapid rate, which is cool. I'm super happy with that. Shares a lot of love. I got paired up with a really cool person. Her channel is right up there. I definitely suggest you go and look at that. She is pretty cool. I sent her some miniatures for this and whatnot, as well as she came up with a storyline with me that came out really well. I want to give her credit because she is pretty cool. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start building my base. Just for what it is, I'm going to do a little bit bigger than some of the other people because I have an idea of what I want to do. So, trusty Elmo's glue for starters. Let's go ahead and just slap it on. Okay. Might have been a little too much, but it's fine. Just smooth it out there. So basically, whoop, I'm making a mess, just like a kid in school. Now I'm basically using these boards to seal these two together, just like so. Okay. I did have a napkin over here for a reason. Just sealing the gaps up. Right there. Stay. Okay. So I gotta let this dry and then on to the next step. Alright, now that I have that built, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting my other 3D printed terrain together on this thing. So let's see how it's gonna go. Okay, so what I started doing here was just grabbing the pieces and gluing them onto the base with basically Loctite and Elmer's glue. Basically I used Loctite to set the doors up and get the terrain pieces set up there. And then once the gatehouse was built, I went ahead and started using Elmer's glue on all the I guess you call them palisades, all the palisades and ramparts that I had to make the fort. Once I finished that, I went ahead and I started to paint them brown because they were obviously a black color. So what I did is I took some black and brown paint, mixed it up so it gave it a nice like darkish brown, and then I coated it with some water to make it like 75% paint and 25% water. This way here it had a nice thick coat. I went ahead and hit every single piece that I could, front and back, and then when I finished with that, I made sure I gave it a second coat real fast. Basically just so I could make sure that you could only see the brown and the dark recesses, nothing besides that. Then, when I was done with that, I began to go ahead and hit the second side as well as the top, and the gatehouse as well. Made sure those thick coats there were good, but didn't lose any of the details that I had. Then I went and grabbed 2 popsicle sticks to help paint the road, and after I put the popsicle sticks down and the road was painted, I went over the popsicle sticks with some brown as well that I used for the palisades. This way here it gave it kind of a roughed up edge and higher than the other ones, and it worked pretty well. Alrighty, so next I go ahead and I pour some of the
basing material down, smooth it out, and then after I smooth it out, I start to go over it with some Elmer's glue and kind of like a Windex mix with some, you know, kind of other glue in there to help out. Usually I just do Windex and Elmer's. I think I used a little bit of another epoxy in here. And once I started doing that, I made sure I smoothed it out with the modeling sculpting tool, which I made sure I cleaned off at the end of it, just so I didn't have anything sticking to it. Again, I went and did some of the edges a little higher, gave it some grooves so it looked like, you know, you pulled a cart in there and it like spilled over, like some of the grass was going to get muddy. And then I went back and decided to start gluing some trees down. So once I started gluing the trees down, I realized that, you know, some of them wouldn't stick without some help. So I went ahead and got the hot glue gun, got this little tool that I got a while back, and it works like a charm. I only put 2 trees up, and then I went ahead and I made these moss coverings. I made 4 moss coverings to go ahead and stick on the walls or the palisades to make them look a little bit better. I went ahead and got them glued onto a little stick, went ahead and did that, and as you can see here, I start gluing them to the base with some Elmer's glue after they look good. Basically just get them, you know, in the right position. They don't have to stick very hard, they just can't fall off their base that basically I painted brown as well underneath, so you can't really tell that it's not the palisade. And then I went and got the hot glue gun and made sure at the base of the material in the middle, I glued it down nice and solid. After that, I started to do the green, which was the grass. I spread it out again with the same modeling tool, same technique I did for the brown, but I covered up some of the brownish modeling sand as well to make sure that it didn't look too barren, so it looks more like a road. And then again, as you can see, kind of go over and just get all of it soaked. As you can see, the color changes. This way here, it becomes a nice solid hold and it doesn't leak off, and I don't have to worry too much about how much, you know, I gotta clean up. It just all sticks. It is an expensive way of doing it, but I like how it comes out, so I go ahead and do that. Start painting the guys. As you can see here, I do his pants, and then I hit this guy's coat and boots. But here, what I'm doing is I'm getting his coat, his gloves, the dark kind of leather, making it look nicely. After I get the dark leather done, I go and I hit him with the highlights for a different color leather, and I go from there. As you can see, the chest piece and stuff are darker. Again, I go back and do some edge highlighting to make it a little lighter color there. Looks like it's worn and torn. And then I go back and I start doing his belt, his hat. His hat, I start focusing on like these little globes he had, painting them green, getting them all nice and cool looking for the base color. And then I come back after I finish up the green and doing some close-up details. Grab the yellow and I hit it with some yellow. Give that globe the kind of sizzling pop that you get in the story. With white so the mask stands out. The mask I hit with gray. And here I finish up the villager real quick, just, you know, minor colors, nothing crazy. I hit his skin with white, his boots with brown, and then his pants with leather. As all I do is tunic the brown I use for the boots. Then I give him golden blonde hair, because that's the color hair he had before he died.
No, that's good and everything's ready to go, huh? As you can see, it's all done. It looks good. And if you want to see the story, it's down below in the description. But as you can see, he came out nice, and the reason why I put him on a base that I can remove is because he's actually a D&D character, Plague Doctor, which is pretty cool. I'm really excited about this 3D print, which you can find on Thingiverse. Then of course the dead body, which is there, which is just another, again, removable for the story. But as you can see, pretty simple 3D print as well. He's part of the Dead Villager pack. Nothing too special about him. That's it. One thing I will say is the doors in here do close. Sort of. There we go. So if you do want to, you can shut the door. And the cool thing about this is now it's a versatile piece of terrain that I can use anywhere else. And that kind of concludes the collab here. Like again, if you want to read the story, it's down below. And thank you to the group for letting me participate in this one. Once again, this is Ryan the War Boss from Works Paint Shop coming at you with another vlog. So that's that. Take care.